I said this a lot to the point of exhaust. Wrestling's cool now as it's ever been.
In the last 5 to 10 years, who are the people that you love watching?
Cody Rhodes is the epitome of a wrestler. Ultimate babyface.
It makes me wonder if he could turn heel right now.
Can we quit forcing this heel narrative on Cody? We didn't do that to Cena.
It kind of happened at WrestleMania 41.
Which is what made their SummerSlam experience so much special. It's almost like we're watching such a great love letter to wrestling from Cena on the way out.
But how can he have a better match? 4 dates left.
Somebody say this on your program, and I agree. I think
you got Austin Theory up so high on that choke slam,
which was all Austin Theory.
How did that spot turn into a match?
I see Triple H, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds and come back and take a match. He shook my hand. He said, "You lose that weight, you got a home here."
You hit a black hole slam.
The original Boss Man slam. Big guys look like rock stars doing it.
When Logan Paul frog splashed you through the announce table, it's going through your mind.
I practiced everything but that. So it's the scariest part of the night. The hardest part was,
hey, we just announced a new date for Insight Live. So if you're gonna be in Las Vegas for WrestleMania 42, I will see you there. Thursday, April 16th, we're back at Circa Resort and Casino, Las Vegas. It was a huge show earlier this year. It's gonna be even bigger next year. Then, San Diego, we're kicking off Survivor Series weekend on Friday, November 28th. Tickets for both those shows are on sale right now at cvvtix.com. There's also the option for VIP tickets. CVVIP tickets, if you will, that include a special Q&A before the show, Ask CVV before the show, and a meet and greet after the show. CVVtix.com, and I will see you there.
You good? Dude, I'm awesome.
No, man.
Dude, I was telling, when you pulled up, my wife was outside and I pointed at you. I was like, my favorite podcast is my driveway.
Dude, thank you for making this happen.
Dude, thank you, man. I infamously don't carry a phone, pretty much like ever.
Yeah.
And I have a laptop instead. So I'm still a real like YouTube guy. Like I'll just get lost in YouTube. So like huge fan of the show, brother.
Man, that means so much. And I'm a huge fan of yours. And I love that we can come together to talk about your wrestling career.
Yes,
it's
my
wild.
wrestling career. That's so fun to hear.
And like, I can tell that you're on YouTube and you're a big wrestling fan because I saw you comment on one of Santi Zap's videos.
Oh, should we start with Santi?
Sure.
We want to start.
You want to start there?
Yes, because listen, I want to appeal to everybody who watches Santi's channel right now. I think for Santi to finally oil himself up and expect me to do a shooting star press is a little. I think it's a good negotiating starting point.
You think you can pull off the shooting star press?
Yeah, yep. And I counter you, Santi, publicly with, you should finally oil up for your channel if I can do anything off the top rope. If I can come off the top rope, if I went from 500 and something pounds to being able to come off that top rope, Santi, you owe it to your subscribers to oil up. Let's make a deal and virtually shake on it now. You know what I'm saying?
That's a deal.
I love Santi too, by the way.
That's a deal.
I truly do love Santi.
But that's wild that you were already paying attention to what people were saying about you getting into WWE.
Well, the fun part of it was I wasn't paying attention to what people were saying. I was just watching what I was watching anyway. So once I didn't, it was the funniest. It's the part of it I didn't think about. As a wrestling fan, I watch you, like I watch Santi. I watch What Wrestling Culture. The UK guy,
yeah,
he's a hoot and a half too, man. He's funny.
Simon Miller?
Wild takes. Yeah, man. He's great. So these are just guys that y'all are already in my algorithm. You know what I mean? I'm already watching Cody's show. I'm already watching Taker 6 Feet Under. Like, I'm already watching all this stuff. I'm already listening to Bubba on Sirius when I'm in the car. You know what I mean? Like, so then I get involved. So imagine my thought. I'm like, I don't think about, oh, these people are going to have an opinion about me being involved now. I wasn't even thinking about it from that perspective. So I'm just watching my normal programming and then I'm getting brought up. I'm like, oh, wow, fun.
But you're a hardcore wrestling fan.
I love wrestling, man. It's like, I've always loved wrestling. And then in the last, especially, I've always said this openly, in the last 5 years, 8, 10 years, as I've spent I spend 200-300 days a year on the road. So it became something we could do on the bus. Like we'd all watch the highlights on, Mondays, or if we couldn't catch the show, like we'd keep up with it through highlights. And people don't understand, but as a musician, I don't listen to a ton of music.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to be influenced by what's happening right now. So I'm very careful when I'm in writing mode to not listen to very much current music, or like I just try to I know what's happening so I'm never unaware, but not be influenced by. I never want to be in the studio, thinking about what one of my friends is doing. You know what I mean? So I'd rather be in there thinking about what Jim Croce was doing in '72.
So that's where your inspiration comes from?
Or we listen to a lot of podcasts. See the catch?
I
See that turn? See that flip? That's how we kind of got involved in wrestling and stuff. It was an alternative to like sitting on the bus and just jamming music and smoking all night.
So who are the early wrestling memories for you?
So I'm 41. Dude, my mama had a crush on Brutus the Barber Beefcake. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you even went back to look at him recently to see if did your mom have a crush on him too? My mom thought he was like the hottest thing ever. So awkward now when I look back at that. So I have those memories of like that kind of stuff. We went to fairground wrestling all through the like early 90s too. Like even high school when like Smoky Mountain Wrestling was first really getting going. We'd drive to East Tennessee or they'd come here. It was just something we were into. All the WWF house shows would come through the Municipal Auditorium. And then the WWF was like one of the first things that ever came to the Bridgestone when we opened the Bridgestone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, we had ECW coming to the Municipal back in the day, TNA. We had all the good stuff.
This is where TNA started.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
You got to think, dude, wrestling in the South are so hand in hand.
For sure.
Like, like wrestling in Southern culture is like a really big thing for us.
Yeah. So then the last 5 to 10 years since you've gotten back into it, who are the people that you love watching?
Oh, dude. I mean, obviously, like Roman's arc's been great.
Yeah.
Seth's in-rings are just like, me and you were talking about this off camera. It's a great time to talk about it now. I think what makes the greatest heels is like, to some degree, it's not easy to be a heel. Like people use that loosely, but like, you can position yourself to make people not like you easier than you can position yourself to make people like you.
Sure, you make fun of the town that you're in.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but the hard part is what makes a great heel to me is how great can you make the babyface look?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
How much can you bring them up?
When we were talking about guys like Austin Theory, you know what I mean? Like how great at that he is. You know what I mean? Of like these Seth Rollins to me. You know what I mean? Like he makes Cody Rhodes look like an absolute rock star.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, for as much as an asshole as Seth is on the microphone, in the ring, he's putting everybody over every time, all out, Shawn Michaels style. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to take that from him,
Yeah.
But these are the guys. I don't know. I've loved everything that's happening, though. I think I said this a lot to the point of exhaust, but I think wrestling's as cool now as it's ever been. Like, I've been looking for this, too, as a wrestling. Like when I got involved in a match, I was excited that I was like famous enough to finally get the celebrity because somebody's going to get it. Y'all don't be mad at me. Somebody was going to get it, y'all. At least somebody who cared got it. You know what I mean? And, but also like to be a part of a time where like, do you remember what it was like? We're the same age when you would go to school in the late 90s, mid 90s-ish, and all of a sudden there was this thing kind of happening.
You would see someone walking down the halls wearing an Austin 316 shirt or a DX shirt, and you're like,
that you've been going to school with for 5 years.
Yes. And now you're like, wait a second. Did we just become best friends?
Yes. Do we have something to now talk about?
Every single Tuesday morning.
Dude, and it was like all of a sudden, I wasn't a cool kid. Like, I'll be the first one to say that. Like, I wasn't the coolest kid at school by a country mile. But some of the cool kids started getting into wrestling. And I was already into wrestling and knew about it. You know what I mean? So like I was watching that culture shift happen and I'm watching it happen again. Because I'm also watching balances be made that couldn't be made before. Like when I'm watching Cody Rhodes right now, this is kind of a deep to talk about, but he is, to me, the epitome of a wrestler. Like the suit, how he carries himself, some of the greatest promos, ultimate babyface. But what he did that was different, like think about Hulk in the late 80s, was like, I liked Hulk in the late 80s because I was, early 90s because I was a baby and it was a great thing for my parents to push on me, vitamins, prayers, whatever.
Yeah, Hulkamania was running wild.
For sure. But my older brother couldn't necessarily feel it, right? My oldest brother, who was 12 years my senior, kind of probably looked at it like, that's kind of corny, right? Where 18, 22-year-old kids can look at Cody like this dude's a gangster. But my 9-year-old son can also look at Cody like this dude's my hero.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Roman Reigns has got that same depth where it's like grown men, gangster men acknowledge the tribal chief. You know what I mean? And my son's like scared of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the coolest thing ever, like to see that happening again.
It kind of makes me wonder with how over Cody is and how much every age group loves Cody if he could turn heel right now. Because who's going to slide into that number one babyface spot right now? And I don't think that there's anyone there.
Yeah, I don't think it's, I don't know that anybody's there quite yet, and especially with Cena leaving.
Yeah.
But I think, like, listen, man, can we quit forcing this heel narrative on Cody? Like, we didn't do that to Cena. We let Cena be the babyface for decades.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Like,
they still booed him.
Yeah.
They booed Cena for many years.
They choked on him sometimes, right? But it wasn't in necessarily a bad way. And I think there will be some core wrestling fans that'll start doing that to Cody sooner than later, and that sucks. It's like, let him have his run, dude. Like, we need this. The business needs this.
And it kind of happened at WrestleMania 41 because everyone wanted to cheer Cena. It's Cena's final WrestleMania match. So they're booing Cena, which then means they're cheering Cena. They have to then boo Cody.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wait a second. This is it's kind of turning on its head here.
No, it was, which is what made their SummerSlam experience so much more special. Because like everybody then had the freedom to just cheer for both.
Right.
And just be so happy for the moment.
When that Titantron lit up with the colors again for Cena for the first time in months.
I jumped out of my skin, Chris. I was in the suite and I was sore. I was hurt. I'd wrestled the night before, so I was in like hurting shape. It's the only time I stood up all night, except for the one time they put me on camera before Fatu's match. You know what I'm saying? I jumped out of my seat. Because I was like everybody else in the room. I was watching and the black came and I was like, if it don't light up.
Yeah.
And right when it lit up then too, I knew what was going to happen next was we were in for a match.
Oh, yeah.
What about Cena doing that right now? Like it's almost like we're watching such a great love letter to wrestling from Cena on the way out. And it's also so true to who he is as a human, because one of the biggest arguments people would say about him was he can't wrestle.
Yeah, 5 moves of doom.
And we're watching this dude put on clinics every night and throwbacks and getting so deep that he's having to show us the Easter eggs the next day to make sure, because critical mass misses it. Like, oh no, y'all missed what I did that for. Like it is everybody who's like his heel run was a failure. If that's what it took to get what we're going to see now, because like I'm into this point where it's like, that's all I want to see. I don't care if he talks on a microphone again. I don't want a storyline. Like, you just keep putting him in there with the matches he wants and giving us these kind of bangers. And dude, thank you, Cena.
That match with AJ Styles is one of the greatest John Cena matches of all time.
I felt that way about his match with Logan.
No, I love that match with Logan.
Another 25-minute, didn't leave the ring banger.
And then I also felt that way about his match at SummerSlam with Cody.
How you think he's going to keep doing it to us?
He has to.
They could keep getting better?
He has to, because the bar just keeps getting raised, right?
It also comes down to dance partners, though. Like, AJ's the kind of guy you want to show up with. Logan, despite our issues, is the kind of guy you want to get in there with.
But how can he have a better match? 4 dates left as we sit here right now. I don't know who any of those opponents are going to be. How are you going to top that AJ Styles match?
Well, I think I've seen somebody say this on your program, and I agree. I don't know if it tops it, but I think that he goes out putting Braun over.
You think that Braun Breaker's his final opponent?
I don't know if I think Cena's going to want to go out on his back.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Completely.
I think that he's just too much of the business dude in him not to.
Yep.
And the question is, does he put over a heel or a young kid like Breaker, or does he put over a baby?
Because I think when you look at the list of the people he hasn't worked with yet on this tour, there's 5 to 7 names that stand out. Could it be Dominic Mysterio? Is it Gunther? Is it Braun Breaker? Is there an outside chance that we have a match with Roman? He hasn't been part of this conversation. Right. Is it maybe a returning Edge, if that's even possible? All of those are really interesting to me.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Just 2 nerds talking about wrestling.
I love it. I'm so excited about it. Are you going to go to this final match?
Of course. I already booked my flight.
I feel like the biggest mark ever to go, but I'm going for sure. Not a mark in a bad way. Just like I told Cena when he was here shooting What Drives You, I was like, I'm going to come to as many of your retirement matches as I can.
So you're going to be there?
I plan on it. I don't plan on letting Cena retire without me sitting there for sure.
How many have you been to on his retirement tour?
I got to wrestle at SummerSlam.
What a sentence that is.
We got to do Paris now.
Yeah.
When did I see him earlier? I seen him one more time. I don't know. I don't think I got to catch him in the heel run at all, though. So I think that's the 2 times. But I'm going to go see him as final, and I'm going to see him again in what is it? The PLE in November?
So that's Survivor Series in San Diego.
Yeah, I think we're going to come out for that.
Okay.
I think I'll be coming right back from Australia just in time.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because Cena, I believe it. It's like, it's why I went to see John Jones fight last year, which I think John will fight again. But I was like, if this is John's last fight, I don't want to miss it. Like, I don't think we're ever going to see Cena wrestle again.
I agree.
I think we'll hear the music and I think we'll see him,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's too in his grain. But I don't think we'll get to see Cena do this.
I think he'll have some appearances like The Undertaker does now.
For
where
sure.
He pops up here and there, puts the rub on somebody, makes them look good.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. December 13th is his last match. And that's it. Jeez.
What a gangster way to go out, man. I hope I tour like it. Like, I pray I have I admire John in so many facets of his life and how he handles his business and himself. But, like, I also pray I have that attitude of, like, all right, this is it. Have a final tour, go out and actually say goodbye, and then go home and actually be at peace with it.
But, dude, with music, you can do this till you're 80.
For sure.
Like, with wrestling, you have to stop because your body says you have to stop.
100%.
With music, you can do this forever.
The difference is, though, and the same thing, though, that is the same, is it's a heart thing, too. You know what I mean? Like, it's a body thing, but for us, it becomes where it's our body, too, a little bit. Like, at some point, it's the wear and tear, and you're just out there on autopilot.
Mm.
And I just want to make sure I'm never on autopilot. I know that's not why John did it. It was a body thing for him. But in my business, I correlate it to how it transfers to me. And it's like I watch so many artists that are on that stage now at a certain age that really aren't on that stage. Not because they're old, even. Sometimes they're young. They've just been touring for 25 years, and you can just see it in their soul. They're tired of singing this song.
Could you ever picture yourself not being passionate about music?
No, dude. I still get the almost diarrhea poops every show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still get that nervous every time I go on stage. You know what I'm saying?
So if we were to catch you backstage 5 minutes before you're going out, what do you look like? What
I'm
are you
shaking.
doing? Shaking.
For sure. I'm like visibly, like my hands are visibly shaking every time. Sweaty palms. Like, I joke with my crew about it. Like, you'll watch my palms. Like, if you're one of the last people in my crew that shakes my hand before I go out, you wipe your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure.
And then when you get out on stage, do your nerves just immediately calm?
Not immediately. It normally goes into the first song or two, and it depends. If it's live, they never calm. Like live. If I'm live to a crowd and a television show, I'm shaking the whole time anyway. You know, it's just.
But that's where you know you're doing the right thing.
That's how I know I'm still here, because I love it and it scares me.
You're living in your purpose.
Nothing scares me any other way, dude.
Man.
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah. And I felt that at SummerSlam more than I have even in music. Like.
So did your working with WWE, did that begin when you were at that Raw in 2023?
I would say that would be the beginning. Well, this story gets so much cooler for me. So Neil Lowy, I've said a few times, is my hero. He's my babyface in this situation. He's been the head of music, and he's been the one thing about the WWE is, I'm sure you know this, so many of their staff have been there decades. Neil's been with that company 30 years. And so he comes to me about the SummerSlam in Nashville when Brock and Roman.
Yep.
And I wasn't here. I was on
2022.
Yeah, 22. He comes to me in 21. I had an office in downtown on Music Row. I was fielding record deals at the time. And I was figuring out what I was going to do in my life. I'd had a song called Save Me come out in 2020 that had kind of went viral. And I was just like really making what was going to probably be what turned out to be the biggest decision of my life. And this wrestling, I'm a huge wrestling fan. They keep going, hey, the head of music wants to come meet you, wants to come hang out for an afternoon. I was like, wow. They was like, I don't know. He just wants to come meet you. I was like, I want to meet anybody from the WWE. And we sat down for 2 hours and talked about Jordans, wrestling, and music, like two guys that grew up together. And here's how gangster Neil Lowy is. At the end of it, he goes, well, we have SummerSlam coming in Nashville, and we have a song we'd love you to sing, and we'd love to sit you ringside, and just, you know, you're a big part of this city. And I was relatively underground, but he just had his pulse on what was happening here in Nashville. And I was like, man, I'm actually on tour that day, but dude, if you'll let me sing the song. So I was the voice of the SummerSlam 2022.
Yeah.
That was my voice.
Yeah.
For that particular record. And so then when the WWE comes around, every time they came, I've been to a couple Raws before that. We just didn't do nothing on TV. I just go hang out with Neil or somebody in the back. And that night they were like, yo. And that was the first night Randy gave me the rub. You know?
You pushed down JD McDonough.
Mm-hmm.
Then you push Dom.
Yep.
And then the rub that Randy gives you is he goes, oh, smells good.
It was the best rub ever, dude. And I'm sure y'all know this about the Viper already, but none of that happened in rehearsal. You know what I'm saying? Like in rehearsal, I was supposed to push Dom into him and he was supposed to table him.
Okay.
You know, like do the Randy table drop. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was going to push him back. Randy's going to be there like, and I was going to push him in. And instead it was like, so when Randy does it and walks over to me, I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever, dude. And it was cool because obviously I was getting stoned in the back. So that's what he's alluding to. You know what I'm saying? Was I smelled like a big reefer leaf. But he's just so awesome. And then I was in the back that night doing my interview, I think maybe with Jackie. And he stopped and crashed my interview, put his arm around me. He was like, man, I'm proud of you, man. A lot of the celebrities that come here, you know, like gave me like the big rub on camera right then too. Mm. And I would have never guessed that was going to blossom to us being able to wrestle together. But
well, that I guess ended up leading to SummerSlam the next year in Cleveland.
Also, Randy grew up in St. Louis, but he has Knoxville roots.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like born in Knoxville, kind of grew up East Tennessee. I think Daddy and them lived out there for a long time. Like, you know, a lot of wrestling history right there in East Tennessee.
When you do that spot at SummerSlam 2024 in Cleveland, it was clear that you were a wrestling fan. Like, it was clear that you belonged in that ring. You got Austin Theory up so high on that chokeslam, that one-arm chokeslam, by the way.
Yes, yeah, which was all Austin Theory. But once again, the greatest heels make the baby faces look incredible. That's all Austin. I mean, that dude's a seller and a half. But he was the dude. I wanted to Undertaker style it, you know, because that's what I grew up watching was like throw the arm over, kind of like I did Logan in the actual match.
Yeah.
Which thank you, Taker, for giving me that nod. But when I went to it, Austin was like, one arm it will get higher. I was like, you sure? He was like, trust me, bro. He's like, this is like breaking all kayfabe, straight shoot. He looks at me and goes, my brother, I'm going to jump through the building for you. He was like, I got you, dog. Because I was so nervous. I made him make us work it out on a crash pad 30 times. He was just like, they were so over it, him and The Miz, but they were so patient with me. You know what I'm saying? They were like, it's this easy. And me and Ron Killings are homies, so he was just back there laughing. He's like, Jelly, I swear you're going to be fine. I was like, okay, cool.
How did that feel out there at SummerSlam for that spot?
I still think about it. Like, you seen the picture of my garage when you walked in. I have the picture hung up when you first walk in my garage. It's like, dude, it was, I can't even describe it. The feeling of like, and we'll talk about this when we talk about SummerSlam. I'm not new to crowds, Chris. You know what I mean? Like, man, I'm still getting nervous in front of big crowds, but like, God bless me. Like, you got to think, by the time I walked in that ring at SummerSlam, I had just got through doing 27 stadiums with Post Malone here in America. I had just played that stadium. I played MetLife. You know, I'm not MetLife. I played where the Mets play, Citi Field a couple weeks before. You know what I mean? So like, but it was a totally different feeling walking out there in Cleveland, you know? And it's the real theater of the unknown for me, you know? And these guys are so comfortable up there, and I'm so not. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it's just cool, man.
So how did that spot with Theory at SummerSlam last year turn into a match this year?
Well, I'm walking up into Gorilla, and I'm like, obviously losing my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely a very inflated version of myself. And I see Triple H, and I'm like, Triple H, I got to do this again. I got to take a match, bro. I was like, I'm going to go lose 100 pounds and come back and take a match. For the record, I had a big disconnect between what 100 pounds was going to feel like and how much I actually needed to lose. That's a whole different story. But I was like, in my mind, you know, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. I'm like, dude, I'm coming back. We're going to do this, man. And what I love about Triple H is he's very direct. He's serious, but he's sincere. Mm. You know what I mean? Like, there's a real sincerity in his face. You see the seriousness, but I think you got to look at his eyes are sincere. His face is serious. His eyes are sincere. And I seen them eyes. They really softened. He shook my hand. He said, brother, you lose that weight. You got a home here.
Why was 100 pounds the number?
I guess in my mind, it was like a realistic shot. Like, I should be able to lose 100 pounds in a year. I lost 50 or 60 pounds in this amount of time. Like, I was just like, I don't know what I was thinking, Chris. I was just doing screwball math. You know what I mean? I was just gassing myself into it. I was really just shooting my shot. You know what I'm saying?
And did you believe Triple H when he said, if you lose the weight, you've got a match?
For sure. I could see it in his face, man. Like I said, he's got a serious face, but it's also very sincere. You know what I mean?
So then is that what started the weight loss journey? It
had started before that, but that is what gave me, it was the next goal. Yeah. So this whole weight loss journey for me has been goal driven. And when I walked out, my first goal was to just walk a 5K. Like Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, two of my friends, they're comedians, and they were doing their first 5K. And I was like, you know what, dude, if I don't go walk this with them, I suck. And I couldn't walk a mile at the time. I was 500 something pounds.
What was the heaviest you ever were?
540.
540.
Yeah, 540. And
what are you now?
I'm right at 285.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I feel really, really, really good about it too. Like, I feel great.
You look great.
Yeah, man. It's a totally different experience. But so I went and walked my first 5K in May. You know,
How'd that feel?
it felt really, really good. And I was already kind of gassed up. So even before that, when I came and sang at WrestleMania night 1 when I did America the Beautiful, I seen Triple H again. He was like, "You look like you're down a couple pounds." I'm like, "I'm working, man. I'm working. You know, in case y'all ever need me." And then, you know, it was like I'd already. We'd already started pushing that way. So the weight is. It was just one goal, and then when I left SummerSlam, I was like, "All right, I got a year to SummerSlam," and then just started turning up.
So then, when did it start turning into serious conversations about a match at SummerSlam?
Before WrestleMania in Las Vegas, I'd already got down like 60 or 70 pounds, and I started looking at. It was a God thing, man. I travel like 300 days a year, Chris. And I travel so hard that my management this year was very intentional about giving me more time off. So they had booked the entire month of July off for me, except for this one thing where I was going to host Kimmel for a couple days. And I was going to have the whole month off, and I was going to stay here and write my album because I haven't wrote in a year. I've been just taking time off writing to just allow life to happen. And I started calling management in January and was like, "Hey, man, I think I'm going to be able to use July to wrestle at SummerSlam like I told Triple H I wanted to do." And as you can imagine, management was so against it. Nobody on my team was cheering for this to be a reality. You know? That's another fun thing to talk about this. It's like, I haven't got to talk about none of this, so forgive me if I'm just blabbing.
No, this is great.
But nobody else has cared to hear about it. But I talked to management, and they're just like, "Hey, man, you know, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You got time to write. You're always complaining about not having time with your family. Have you ran this by your wife?" And I was like, "Yeah, I prayed about it. I talked to my wife and kids. You know, I was like, they'll come see me in Orlando." I was like, "I want to move down there and just move to the PC for the month." This is January. And I'm like, and I want to rent 2 houses, and I want to put a studio in one house, and I'll write them while I'm icing down every day. Or see if what my body can handle, you know, because I didn't know what I was going to be able to handle or not. And they were like, "Look, you know, keep thinking about it, and as we get closer in the year." And then as we got close to WrestleMania, I hit Neil and was like, "Hey, man, if I'm going to do this at SummerSlam, like, what's up?" He was like, "Can you do a ring check the night of WrestleMania?" I was like, "No problem." And I showed up, and I was like, "What time's the ring check?" He was like, "Can you wait till midnight?" And I was like, "Yep, no problem." And I stayed there and watched. I was going to watch the whole show anyways. And at midnight, I walked into that room with Bruce Pritchard and a couple of the producers, and I proved to them I could take a bump for about an hour and a half. And I don't want to say it was a rib, but they were definitely there to see if I had any bitch in me.
Had you trained at any?
I knew nothing.
You hadn't done anything.
I'd done some stuff whenever I was a kid. We had a wrestling ring. Chains from DOA had a spot in Laverne that we'd go to when I was like 10, 11. It was so sick, dude. I'd go jump off the top rope on crash pads. But I hadn't really never properly trained at all. I knew nothing about it. I understood it from being a fan, which is way disconnected from the physicality of it, by the way. We are all grossly underestimating how much all of that hurts. So, I mean, I knew I'd be good with the mic, and I knew I could get the storytelling side. You know what I mean? But I wasn't sure if I could do the physical side, and that's what they were worried about too.
So who were you in the ring with, taking those bumps and locking up and figuring
Well, you don't really do a lot of locking up then. You do a lot of just flat snapbacking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you do a lot of ring running. They show you how to run the ropes. Cause dude, those ropes are cable.
Oh yeah.
They're hard. Have you ever ran a rope?
I trained. Yeah.
Yeah.
First time you hit them, you go,
immediately. You bruise.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. Charlotte Flair told me this. It was so cool when she came back from her injury, because she caught me you got to remember, I'm at the PC suffering. So everybody's having to watch me just limp around. I'm clearly not able to hide the fact I'm hurt. And Charlotte gave me the best advice. She walked over and she said, "Baby, I'm going to tell you something." She said, "When I came back from my injury, it bruised my back." She's like, "I've wrestled my whole life." She's like, "It's just, you're fine." And I was like, "Thank you." Because you're starting to have moments as a man. I've never done nothing this physical. So I'm like, dude, am I way weaker? Have I thought I was tough this whole time and I'm just mad soft? And then they're like, "No, dude, this is and they started telling me about how many athletes drop out. Athletes that are getting paid good money to train there every day.
Sure.
That are athletes from college that are like, "I just can't do this."
It's harder than they thought.
You know, so they kind of put me through that for an hour and a half. You're just holding the middle rope, swinging back, and they're showing you how to tuck your chin and not throw your head. You throw your head everywhere. You wake up the next morning.
Are you in there with a trainer?
Yeah. You wake up the next day with a pulsating headache all the way down through your neck and spine and forehead, and they tell you exactly where the headache's going to be, you know. And when I woke up the next morning and they said, tell us how you feel tomorrow, the day after, if this is what you want to do. And I texted them 2 days later and said, I'm all in. And they were like, how sore are you? I was like, pretty sore. You know what I'm saying? I was like, pretty sore. I was like, not sore enough to detour me. And I was like, well, that's step one.
So then where to go from there?
I said, can we set up times to go to the PC? And they gave me the window and they gave me choices. This is so inside baseball. They were like, hey man, we can send a ring to you and a couple of trainers a couple days a week. Or you can come down to the PC and train unlimitedly, but you'd have to live in Orlando. And Matt Bloom kind of runs some of the coaching up there, Coach Matt Bloom. And dude, I went and did another ring test with them down there because then I had to get approved by them that like Shawn Michaels comes in, Matt Bloom, Coach Moss, Brookside, like it's that moment. You know what I mean? Like it's a real moment.
Yeah.
And you got to prove to them you can take the bumps too, you know, or you can at least know something. And I just had fell in love with Coach Bloom. I fell in love with all of them that day. Like just the love in that room of the PC just overwhelmed me. So I was like, I want to go to the PC and do it for sure, for sure.
Did they tell you needed to be there a certain amount of days?
Well, no, they were cool with whatever. The biggest thing was if I did it at home, I didn't get Coach Bloom or Coach Moss. Like I would get maybe one every now and then. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, I really want these guys pouring into me every day. So that's what really ultimately why I picked Orlando.
So how long did you live in Orlando for? I
lived down there for probably 40 days, 45 days. Okay. I trained 5-6 days a week during that time.
You must have been so sore.
We did 2-a-days the last 2 weeks. I had bone bruises. Like I'm not looking for sympathy on your YouTube channel here, or somebody's going to make fun of me maybe, but it was brutal. It was like, it taught me so much about me as a human. You know what I mean? Of like how brutal it really was.
Is it the idea of like, even though I think I can't do this, I can push through and, you know, there's success on the other side of it?
Yeah, for sure. I think also it was like, that's another reason I signed up for it was the selfish side of it was, I want to learn about me. Like, what can I take? Am I as capable of this as I think I am? How crazy in my mind am I? Because I'll tell you another part of this story that's fun. When I watched Logan go through that table, I'm trying to think what table spot it was, but I'd obviously seen the one where he did it to KSI. But right then, and I didn't know Logan was going to be a part of this, but I had a vision of taking that spot, like clear as day. And I was 500 pounds at the time. And I was like, I'm going to take that spot. Like, we're going to have the most viral moment. I'm going to make this spot famous for Logan. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like in my heart, I felt that way. So we started training. So when I went in there, that was like a North Star for me. Wow. I was like, yo, especially whenever it started coming together, who the opponents, how the matches were going to line up. And it was Logan. I was like, this is like, these weird things I pray about in my backyard are happening right now. Like, I'm going to take the table spot. You know what I mean?
We're already talking about WrestleMania. It's many months away. I get that. But who do you think Brock Lesnar is going to face at WrestleMania 42? The odds are up now at MyBookie, and Gunther is at the top of the list, the favorite right now to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, followed by Jacob Fatu, then Braun Breaker at plus 400. I actually think that'd be my pick as of right now, as of the time that you're watching this. Then we got Rusev, Damian Priest, Bronson Reed, and the rest of the list. You can also get in on the World Series action at MyBookie, NFL, college football, all of it. And when you sign up, make sure to use my code CVV and you'll get a very nice, very healthy 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere, only at MyBookie.
At what point in your training did you maybe turn the corner and go, okay, I'm starting to get this?
The last couple days. Here's the worst part. When I wrestle again, it's going to be, I know why Bad Bunny did it 3
When
times.
You wrestle again.
When I will wrestle again for sure. Because I know why Bad Bunny did it now. He was my hero in this scenario. Like, I watched his matches every night before I went to sleep. When I would go home and ice my arms, just to kind of gauge, because I was like, if I can just do half as good as Bad Bunny did his first match, I might get a little love. The problem is we don't think about Bad Bunny's first match.
It's true.
We think about this absolute clinic of a banger that was Backlash.
That entrance that he had.
I don't want to talk about it.
The crowd
so it's like,
him.
so watching that overwhelmed me.
Sure.
But when you would watch his first match where him and Damian were tag partners with The Miz, it started becoming way more of a realistic goal for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, okay, what are my moments in this thing?
It's a great point. Nobody remembers that match. He did a Canadian Destroyer in that match.
A Canadian Destroyer on the outside of the ring.
With John Morrison.
It was his big moment. That was his big moment in the top rope crossbody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Was like his two big moments in that. He only took, and not dissing, but like he only took a couple of snapback bumps in the whole match.
It's true.
He just sold like a clinic. I mean, he sold.
He raised the bar.
He made me want to do it. He's the reason I signed up. Bad Bunny was the first celebrity I ever watched do it that didn't disgust me a little bit. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. We don't have to name names, but there were a lot of people, especially during that Raw general manager, guest general manager era, Raw guest host era, where you're like, that person doesn't even know anything about wrestling.
No, dude. They're just here. That's what we talked about off camera too, is not only do they not know about wrestling, that's why when they were like, do you want to do a Jelly Roll song? I was like, no. When they asked me, because they asked, they're like, hey, what are you promoting? Is it the tour? What's next? Like, what do you want to promote here? I was like, I booked this around a time I have nothing to promote on purpose. As a fan, I'm disgusted when these guys come in the ring and do a whack move they halfway learned in the back 2 seconds ago just to grab a microphone and go, watch my new show on NBC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just so pisses me off. I was like, I don't want to talk about nothing Jelly Roll here.
So what was your goal in doing the match?
Well, I knew, one, it was a three-part thing, personal. It was very personal to me, like a lifelong dream. Selfishly, Chris, it's hard to admit it this honestly, but I'm an honest guy. Like, it was a chance of a lifetime that I thought I had to do, and I had to do it. And you grow up watching it like I did and dreaming of it, and then add the component that I came from being so morbidly obese. Can you put clips on this?
Sure.
I know you can do it on your Patreon, but there's a moment where I fall down when I choke slam Austin Theory, and we do the 5-knuckle shuffle, that I fall down and I'm struggling. I'm so fat, I'm struggling to get back up. That the Miz and R-Truth come over and help me. And I have the Miz on this arm and I have R-Truth under my other arm while that arm's holding a rope. I was so fat that the SummerSlam before Logan Paul jumped through me on a table. I was so fat 1 year before that it took 2 grown men and a steel cable rope to get me up from one move down. And 1 year later, I came back and took a suplex. Man. 2 snapback bumps, chops. I mean, I took bumps. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that is all a part of the story for me, was like proving that I could do that. Like, that being a North Star for me. 2, wrestling's so cool right now. Why is it not being explored in pop culture? That was like frustrating me a little bit. You know what I mean? And when it did make pop culture, it was always for the wrong headlines because a celebrity involved didn't commit or whatever the case may have been. You know what I mean? So I was like, dude, there's a chance we could actually bleed this thing like back into the streets like wrestling used to be. Like, we might be able to blur the lines. We were having conversations early of like how Drew's disgusted by me being there, how real that can feel or not feel. You know what I mean? Like, Logan and me really, this feeling tense. Also, like, can we take the storyline to Kimmel? Can we take it to ESPN's Get Up? Can we take it to like pop culture? Like, I thought I could bring that to the table a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Was like a real big part of it too, was like almost like wanting to be one of the guys blowing the trumpet for like, yo, y'all are missing one of the greatest shows in the world right now. You know what I mean? And then I think the third part was, I wanted to see if it was something I could do. And if I could do it and was able to do it, would I be able to do it again? You know what I'm saying, frankly?
And this wasn't just a match at SummerSlam. There was so much buildup to it. So like, let's talk about some of that. It kind of begins here in Nashville with that Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
You come out, you're singing your song, you're performing, and then Logan Paul interrupts this.
Inside Baseball Easter egg, and me and Logan started teasing it 2 weeks before that. Logan did a podcast with my friend Kane Brown, country music guy. And he asked, Kane asked him about me in the like opening clip. You feel me?
Yeah.
And Logan just immediately dismisses me. You know what I mean? Like, and so we all took that clip and started. So we were already like,
I like that.
Trying to like, that was me and Logan's early ideas of like, how can we make sure this feels more personal out of the ring?
So you're singing Liar. and Logan Paul interrupts this incredible performance.
Crashes my set in my city. Disgusting. You know,
I felt so bad for your gear.
I did too.
I was like, that's very expensive gear.
First of all, it's not cheap gear. For the record, that actually was some of our gear. You know what I'm saying? There was definitely a couple of things that we intentionally like, yo, don't touch that speaker, and he still touched the amp.
He did it maliciously too.
Yeah, well, at that point, he's just, he's logging it out. I'm like, yo, there's a thing happening over there. I'm like, if that motherfucker touches that one amp to the left, it's going to cost me $1,200. You know what I'm saying?
So it begins there, and then it takes us into, is it Saturday night's main event? Where you make an appearance there?
Yep.
You take a Claymore?
Take a Claymore. What a big first bump to have to take on TV. You should have seen
me. You took a lot of Claymores in this whole thing.
I took so many Claymores. I took more than Cody did, for sure. We get to Saturday night main event, Goldberg's retirement match.
Yeah.
Just electric night. That was...
Oh, yeah, it's the next night, right after the SmackDown.
Yeah. To me, that was the night that it came alive. You know what I mean? Like, that was the night that the storyline, and that was also the night that I realized that I could get over in the room. I expected to get over in the Nashville room. I will say, bias, legendary boos when Logan cut me off, though. I mean, it was insanely loud in there.
Yes. Could you hear him?
Not at first.
Because the boos were so loud?
It was so deafening. But what I noticed in Atlanta was the cheers. Like, I really like the jelly roll cheers, like chants. Like, I was like, okay, I'm getting over in the room. You know what I mean? Like, that was the first time I felt it. When I had to make that decision, whether or not I was going to get involved or not, when I went in there with Logan, you know, and when I made that decision and I felt the room, you don't feel that when you sing as much, you know, like, because when you sing, you feel the emotion of the song.
Yeah.
You don't feel the emotion of the unknown happening in the room.
Isn't it so interesting that the through line in both of these is storytelling?
Yes.
Right? It's what you do with the lyrics that you write and when you sing them, and that's what we see in the ring.
For sure.
But two completely different ways to tell a story.
100. I don't get to use my words hardly at all. You know what I mean? That was what was so fun about the challenge. Like, for the whole match, which we'll get there, but like telling that story was so important, how we told that story.
Yeah. So that then takes us to Jimmy Kimmel. So you're guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel. And it ends up leading to you chokeslamming Logan Paul through the desk.
Yes. Dude, the Kimmel thing was dope because Randy comes out first and we do a full segment.
Yeah.
Just me and Randy, just talking about, you know, childhood stuff, cool stuff like that. And then Drew crashes. And this was what was so fun to me. This was the moment I knew we were on to something big. Because we'd all talked about this backstage. I was like, I hope this crowd gets it. You know what I mean? Like, I hope they get it. Because the crowd has a big job to do in our storytelling in wrestling. You know what I mean? When you're telling a story in wrestling. They have a job. And this is a Jimmy Kimmel audience, a live taping LA Hollywood Boulevard audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they might not be wrestling fans.
But they wasn't. I asked, so inside, before I did what Kimmel did, I would go between guests, Kimmel walks up and does crowd work. Hey, where are you from? You know, just kind of makes conversation while they change the set over. And I'm doing the had the magic thing because we're having to change desks. And so I'm talking and I'm just like, all right, first of all, before my friend comes out here, how many real wrestling fans are out here? Dog, you could have heard a mouse piss on cotton. You could have heard a fly fart. Not a soul in there, Chris, was a wrestling fan.
What are these references?
I'm telling you, dude, not a soul in there was a wrestling fan. So right then I went back to the table and I was like, ooh, hope they get it. You know what I mean? And the moment Drew comes in, the tone shift in the room felt like 90s TV when you didn't know what was happening on a sitcom, like Jerry, like the ooh. So they immediately did that. And then by the time Logan comes, they just boo. So right then I was like, they got it. If they got it, they're going to get it. We're got. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we got it across to this room, it's going to be got. You know what I mean?
And then you got Logan up and you slammed him through that desk.
I truly believe that when they recap the 2020s, I told Logan this, that will make it. That little clip, that might be the only thing me and him do this whole decade that makes a whole decade recap. but there will at least be that one little moment that'll probably go.
So then that takes us to SummerSlam.
If you want to hear a funny inside baseball story,
please.
They should, like the rules were they had to make a stuntman do this to like practice the table thing.
Okay.
So this stuntman's over there, never took a bump in his life. So he's like, how do I go through this table again? I'm like, up, tuck your chin, flat on your back, slap, attack the mat. I'm trying to teach a stuntman how to take a bump. And I'm watching Shane Helm and Sean sit over there losing their mind. And Shane Helm, I don't know if you've met Shane.
I love Shane.
Oh, he is the dude, bro.
Love Shane.
Shane Helm is the guy. So Hurricane's going, just let the wrestlers wrestle. Like when Shane's up, like he just can't contain himself. He's just shaking. He's like, just let the wrestlers do the wrestling. Finally, Sean's like, can I do it, please? So finally, I slammed Sean. Sean walks right over. We don't even talk. Sean goes straight up, straight through. It was just such a unique, like, understanding nothing like that had ever happened, ever, at Jimmy Kimmel or late night TV. You know what I mean? Was how big of a deal that was.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more proud of that than probably anything else we did for this match because it truly was a pop culture moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's something that even if you weren't a wrestling fan, it got out into the cultural zeitgeist.
Exactly.
People were aware of it.
That's what I meant. It was pop culture. Like it went so far beyond wrestling culture. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like so many people seen that moment. And I was excited because I thought the fact Randy Orton hadn't been on late night TV in 21 years, like,
is that right?
Yes. Almost made me mad. I'm like, this dude is a legend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this dude is like, you should be throwing rose petals at this guy.
Well, we are now. Yeah. So the day of SummerSlam, what's going through your mind all day?
I'll tell you what's going through my stomach. I am going through it. Man, to say I'm thinking about anything else but the match is a lie. Like all you're thinking about is the match. You know what I mean?
Like beat for beat.
Beat for beat.
Yeah.
That's all you're thinking. I walked into Logan's dressing room 30 times and would go, hey man, just hear me out. And then I would just run the match through to him. And he'd just smile and be like, I remember my first match too, bro. Like not in a mean way, like in a cool way, Shane, I'd make Shane come to my dressing room every 20 minutes. But I just want to make sure this is this, right? He's like, yeah, you got it, bro.
Shane McMahon?
No. Love Shane too, though. Talking about underrated, great wrestler.
Oh, Shane Helms.
Dude, yeah, talking about Hurricane Shane.
Sure. And he was the producer on the match, right?
Yes, sir.
So I was thinking you would have come out to one of your songs. Makes sense, right? Your Jelly Roll. Why not pick one of the songs from anything you've recorded? Came out to a Toby Keith song. What was the reason behind that?
Dude, first, Toby loved wrestling. Remember, he had some in-ring involvement back in the day.
Yeah, he was did some early stuff at TNA.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Toby's always been a fan of just that kind of culture. And it was important not to do a Jelly Roll song like we talked about earlier in the pod. I wasn't here to sell Jelly Roll product at all. Like it was important for this not to be like this is what he was here for a moment. You know what I mean? Like I was here for the match. And I was just thinking about great wrestling stuff. I was like, I need something catchy. And I knew I needed it to come out the first time I cut Logan off in Cleveland. So the whole time I'm flying to Cleveland that night, I'm like, I got to come up with a song. And I just wanted to do Who's Your Daddy by Toby Keith. I love the song. And it just felt right that, I got it. So come and get it. Who's your daddy? And I think it needs to be something memorable. And like now you let me do that a few more times. You'll hear it. You'll instantly, you know what I mean? I got it. What a great way to come in. And I call Neil and I'm like, hey man, I want to do Toby Keith. Who's your daddy? He's like, you walk out in 2 hours. I was like, yeah. That's the song. He's like, I'm not going to get that cleared in 2 hours. I was like, no, Neil, we'll get it cleared. He's like, you're going to get this cleared from a label and his estate in the next 2 hours. I was like, for sure.
What made you so confident?
One, the Toby Keith family are awesome. Like his son, Steele, his sister, Toby's daughter, like these are salt of the earth people. Like do anything. Like the kind of people you want to pull up behind you if you got a tire broke on the side of the road. You got a flat tire, pray one of the Keith family pull up behind you.
I love that.
So I was like, and I knew that they would get it. And they had helped me with an American Idol thing. One of my kids and I say my kids because I loved them. I mentored the kids on American Idol this year. They're my babies. And he wanted to sing a Toby Keith song. And initially they wouldn't clear it, because they're very protective of Toby's estate. Like,
sure.
They don't want to overexpose Toby. Like they're very, very strategic in his legacy. And side note, if you ever go to Tulsa, swing by the OK Kids Corral, OKC, anywhere in the Oklahoma area. But they give housing to kids that are getting cancer therapy.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really cool. So I just knew that, they'd love it. But the cool thing was, not only did they clear it in 2 hours, we were the fastest song ever cleared in WWE history. They cleared it all the way through. They were cool with it. I probably used that song 7 times throughout the course of this, 6 times throughout the course of this. And every time, you got to sign every time.
Wow.
Every time. Cleared every time.
Then when you came out, you sang a little bit of Randy's song.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
What a moment that was. Paul Heyman. Inside, I'm giving you all the real stuff here. That was Paul Heyman. I was cutting my promo in front of Paul Heyman. And I was like, and then I'll say something like, but y'all are wrong if y'all think I came here alone. And then, it'll be like, I hear voices in my head. And I just said that to Paul. And like, when Paul gets excited, dude, nothing will make you happier. He's like, it's like watching a kid get excited. Paul went, that's it. That is it. You know how animated Paul is. He's like, that's what you do. I was like, yeah, that's it, right? Paul, he's like, no. Not the promo. Everybody does the alone thing. That sucks. But the singing thing after the alone thing, that's different.
Pretty good Paul Heyman.
Is that a pretty good Paul
Heyman?
Good Paul Heyman. Know what I'm saying? And I was like, it was so real. And I was like, you're right. And he grabs me again before I turn around. And he looks at me so serious and he goes, Jelly, nobody else can do that. You can. So I was like, got you. I was like, make sure they don't hit it then. Make sure I sing it. He's like, I got you. Because this is happening right as I'm walking out. I'm reading Paul my promo one last time to make sure that, because I didn't really have the promo memorized. I kind of freestyled half the promo that night. It was just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't as ready as I could have been, frankly.
There has been a lot of talk about VPNs among wrestling fans recently, and it's true. You can use NordVPN to change your virtual location with just one click so you can access content that might not be available where you live. It's fast, it's secure, and you can do it on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, any device. And that's not the only thing. They keep you protected when you're online. As you know, public Wi-Fi is a spot where hackers like to camp out to try to steal your information, but NordVPN protects you from hackers and gives you peace of mind when you're using Wi-Fi that may not be secure. Head to nordvpn.com/CVV and check out these deals they have going on right now. Just a few dollars a month gives you access to content from other locations. Plus, it keeps you protected when you're surfing the old worldwide internets. Plus, Nord has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you've got that if you decide that this isn't for you for whatever reason. Head to nordvpn.com/CVV. This is a limited time deal, so take advantage of this while this is happening right now. nordvpn.com/CVV.
What was the main story you wanted to tell in the ring?
The story I wanted to tell in the ring was, one, I don't belong here. It was important to tell that part of the story. I think a lot of celebrities don't come in and do that properly. You know what I mean? I wanted to make sure there was a real moment of especially when Drew walked in. You know what I mean? I wanted to always show that Logan was better than me, but I wanted to make sure that I was clearly in a different class than this grown man that's been wrestling his whole life. And it was important, but then it was important to show the story of the story of Jelly Roll, of the overcoming adversity. My favorite movie ever is Cool Runnings.
What a movie.
It's a great movie, dude. And it's it shows that sometimes you can do everything right, but the sled will break. You know what I mean? I did everything I could right. And that's the last part I wanted to tell the story. I did everything I could, y'all. But the sled broke, man. There was no way I was going to beat these wrestlers.
I thought for sure you were going to win. That's what typically happens when a celebrity comes into WWE.
Yeah, I fought that immediately. One of the first things I fought was yo, man, I don't want to go out. And,
was that the original plan? Was to have you win?
Yeah. It was originally babyfaces up. So the day of, I'd been dropping it in Shane's ear the whole time. I'm like, Shane, I want to lose this match. And he was finally like, brother, you're going to have to take that up with them. And I was like, cool. So I came down and me and Triple H talked about it right there at the ring that day. I said, you know what I'm coming to talk about? He said, I want to hear it. And I gave it to him and he was like, all right.
What was the pitch?
It was an easy pitch. I was just it took 3 things. One, it's the right thing to do. We'll start at core. Let's just start at core values here. No celebrity has any business coming in and pinning a wrestler on their first ring. without some extreme circumstance. You know what I mean? Like if Randy comes out and double RKOs everybody while I'm out and puts me on top of somebody, you know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? But 2, I can always come back. Like, I don't think any other celebrity ever really cared enough to think full angle through. You know what I mean? Was like, if I lose this, like I love Logan. That's my friend in real life. But every time he's in that ring now, he's got to wonder if at some point he's going to hear, you know, I got it. So come and get it. You know what I'm saying? He's got to wonder about that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Drew too. If I really owe one of them, it's Drew. You know, so that was part 2 of it, was like, I also was like smart enough to be like, yo, I want to angle in. And I was like, and I don't want to be remembered as a celebrity who did the thing. And Triple H stopped me, and this will probably be an Unreal because it was so gangster. He said, I will tell you this, though. He said Floyd wanted to lose the Big Show. That's super. I don't know if I should even be sharing that, but he told me that, and I thought that was cool.
So I love the story because, like, I love the story that you guys are telling in the ring because it's very clear that, like, you don't belong, right? Like, that's the story that's being told there. But then when you did start getting some offense in, you surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, that was the goal. Yeah, that was the goal. It was cool. We knew that we knew that we could show a little something early to try to get people in. Can I tell you how great Shane and Sean are as producers? They were telling me, they were like, look, by the time that you get to this spot in the match where Randy comes back in, Drew comes back in and kind of throws you around again, he's going to hit Randy with a cheap shot. And that's going to finally be the moment. 2 or 3 times before that moment, they're going to get really close to just like losing their mind about Randy getting in the ring, but they're going to start the Randy chant right then. And he was like, that'll be the hot tag. And I remember thinking, you know, how can you be so certain the timing of that? You know what I mean? And I'm not bullshitting, dude. As soon as Drew goes out that ring, Randy, I was like, and in my mind, I'm going, that's what we're doing next. That's the next spot. It's the hot tag. And he's coming in at perfect time. And in my mind, I'm like laying there, you know, acting like I can't get to the corner, but I'm really thinking, fuck Shane, you're so good. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
did you expect the jelly roll?
No,
chance?
But it was so good, dude. It's the first thing Logan said when I came backstage. And Drew, they were like, you got over, dude.
Yeah.
It was like, especially in the room, because I want to remind people watching at home, when you're actually in the room, you're not dissecting, you're living in it. You know what I mean? And like, that's where you can tell if something's actually working, because they're not hearing commentary. They're not seeing the story from multiple angles. They're seeing it from their seat and what's on that screen. And you are selling them an entire story in silence. All you're hearing is the booms, dooms, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, It's crazy when you're in the rooms. Please, every wrestling fan, try to make your way to a live show if you've never been, you know? I didn't expect that. And also what I didn't expect was whenever they were carrying me out and I did the turnaround, like I thought I'd get a pop, but I didn't think I'd get like the pop. You know what I mean? It was like, that was the moment for me too.
You hit a black hole slam.
Dude! Abyss gave it to me, by the way.
Yeah?
He's the one who came. He blessed it with me from day one. He's like, you know, I did it forever. He was like, because he produced my SmackDown segment. And he was like, dude, I did it forever. You should do it. It's the original Boss Man Slam. And I love the Big Bad Boss Man anyway. So I was like, dude, no way. He's like, big guys look like rock stars doing it. He's like, trust me, dude. I was like, thank you, bro.
It looks so badass.
It was cool, man.
Yeah. So when you're setting up for Logan Paul to frog splash you through the announce table, what's going through your mind? Because you can't practice that spot.
No, no, dude. Thank you for bringing that up. I practiced everything but that. So it's the scariest part of the night. It's also the moment you know that's going to go. Because like me and Logan had extensively been like, look, man, this, like, if there was ever a time for you to jump out of the gym, and I know you jump as crazy as you can every time, but if there was ever a time like this should make every headline in the world tomorrow. Like, we knew we had that kind of a moment if we did it right. And I do remember the hardest part was, I don't know if I should get this inside, but I got onto the table wrong, which everybody talked about because I had to slip back and did the worst job selling my slip back. But equally, I was scared because of where my back was sitting at that moment. I'd never been through it, and I didn't know where this thing was going to break. So like I had just a genuine self-preservation, like, fuck what everybody thinks. This is scary as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But then I looked up, and when Logan took the 2 bottles, I just remember thinking, I'll talk about this on my deathbed. Like, I'll tell this story of what's happening right here in this moment till I die. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many other things in my life I'll think are cool enough to talk about until it's all over, but I will for sure sit right here and think about this moment, dude. And he comes and he hits me, and all I hear is the clear sound of every bit of his air coming out of him. Like a like that. And I'm like, oh shit. So as soon as I land, I cheat over immediately towards Logan real fast and cover my mouth. And I'm just like, you okay, bro? Like I was worried. Like I hurt him, dog. Like he ate. I don't think he hit the table, Chris. I think he hit all Jelly Roll, dog. I think he's been used to jumping on people that are like half my width. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he fully, because he couldn't practice for it neither. You can't put a Jelly Roll sized doll up. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just having to kind of guess. You know what I'm saying? And he went, and then I rolled back over, and I'm laying there, and I'm hurt, of course. I mean, because you don't hit that spot and not hurt a little bit. You hurt a lot the next day, but even in the moment. And I just remember looking up and seeing Fat Joe. And that's my friend. And Drewski was standing up behind him, and their faces were concerned. And right then I was like, we got it. I was like, I just got to sell it. I was like, this, and dude, no lie, I spent the next 2 minutes selling to just Fat Joe. Nobody else. I don't know how much of it was on camera, but I was just selling because I was like, if I can get Fat Joe to believe this, I am good. It's getting there.
And then I think people in the arena, people in the stadium didn't know if you were actually hurt or not.
Yeah.
Because everyone came over and they were attentive to you, and then they put you up and they're starting to walk you to the back. And I think there were a lot of people going, well, that's what happens when a celebrity tries to wrestle.
That's it. And I walked by my wife, and I remember looking at her, and I just said, I just wanted to finish. And then I watched her face change. I was like, oh, she thinks I'm hurt too. So right then I was like, this might be
worked your
over.
wife.
I worked my wife, dude. I was like, straight up, dude. I worked Joe. I worked Drewski. I was working, dog. I was like, I got to sell this. Because I knew that my moment of if I really was going to get over was going to be when I turned around.
And then you came back into the ring.
Yeah.
What a moment that was.
Man, what a moment, dude. Got fired up and just got to run that sequence. To be able to, forever a thank you to Drew McIntyre for putting me over in that moment too. He didn't have to take anything from me. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have to work. He didn't have to take a bump from Jelly Roll a couple of times. He took a couple of big Jelly Roll bumps for me. But taking that boss man slam, sexy. I'll think about it the rest. You know what I mean? The Logan moment, the choke slam moment, which was a cool callback because when we first started with Logan, he told me I wasn't a wrestler when he was beating up on me the very first minute of the match. So the last minute of the match, I got to choke him and look him in the eye and go, you're not a wrestler neither, Logan. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was a full circle for me.
Did you do everything in that match that you were supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I took a couple of things that we called on the spot that wasn't even in the match.
Like what?
A couple of chops. Like when Logan crawled the post and did the character moment, like this was all stuff we were just chatting on there.
Oh, man. That's cool.
That's what I really wanted to. I was like, I hope it gets flowy enough that we're talking. You know what I mean? That like, not talking like, but like in a way that we're getting to call stuff.
Yeah.
And Drew hit me with that first chop and it landed and I felt it and I covered. And right then I was like, one more, Drew, one more. Drew was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
When you got to the back.
Because like I wanted to take a Drew chop. That was important to me too. You know what I'm saying? Like I had all these little weird things I wanted to do as a fan. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I got to take a chop.
When you got to the back, what was the feeling?
Dude, electric. I mean, everybody was like, they were so excited. Randy was a hero through this whole situation. I mean, we really became buddies, dude. We talk pretty frequently now. We send each other videos. Or he's who inspired me to start lifting. I hired that trainer you just met because of Randy Orton.
You hadn't been doing any lifting?
I hadn't lifted at all. I'd only done cardio.
Wow.
Yeah, and I told Randy that, and Randy was like, yo, bro, next step.
How had you lost the weight to this point?
Cardio and eating.
You just cleaned up your diet?
Yeah, very clean though, man. Like cleaning it up would be almost a grossly under way of expressing it.
So what are we talking about?
Plants and protein. only. I don't eat processed foods. I cut processed foods out 2 years ago. Now, I'm not like a super weirdo about it. Like Thanksgiving, I'll have dressing. You know what I mean? Like for sure, I'm going to eat some dressing on Thanksgiving. But I'll eat biscuits and gravy on Christmas morning. You know what I mean? Cornbread on New Year's Day with black-eyed peas because these are family traditions from the South.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like I said, that's my 3 days a year that I'll eat processed foods.
So take me through the other 362 days of the year. What are you eating?
Lots of plants, lots of proteins, fish, lots of chicken, lots of turkey. Stay away from red meat. I eat red meat like twice a month to make sure I get my iron and get what I need from it, but it just doesn't do right by my body. Big fan of red meat for everybody who's eating. I think it's great. Carbs, I keep like complex carbs the best I can. Oats, sweet potatoes, red potatoes, sometimes some basmati rice, but ultimately just lots of vegetables, man.
And then just lots of walking, running?
Lots of walking, running, walk, run, boxing, basketball, wrestling, fun stuff like that. Just all that stuff that's like really cardio driven. You know what I mean? But I learned a lot in the wrestling process of just how weak I was. And I told Randy that. That's how we had to talk. He's like, how do you feel about all this? I said, man, I actually feel good with the moves, but I don't feel, I know that I know I need some strength on me.
What's the goal with your weight loss? What are you looking to get to?
I don't know if I have a goal yet. I know I feel a lot better now, but like my knees hurt, my hips hurt from all the running. I want to get small enough where I can do the physical stuff I want to do in life and not feel like tortured for it.
When we walked into this room, there's all these plaques and photos on the wall of you when you were a lot heavier. Who do you see when you see that guy?
Man, I see a guy that was telling the world he had addressed his mental health and hadn't. That's deep.
Yeah.
But I see a guy who was telling the world that I was prioritizing my mental health, but my physical health was showing the polar opposite. My physical right now is a direct reflection of what's happening between my ears, of me saying the things I used to eat, of me taking the time to process the emotions I used to eat, and expressing them, and accepting them and making peace with them. You know what I mean? Or accepting them for what they are. I had to start treating food as I treated every other drug addiction in my life. Like getting off cocaine and codeine wasn't easy for me initially. It's something that took a lot of time, a lot of 12-stepping, you know what I mean? A lot of sponsoring and programming to figure it out. Realizing that I can't do it casually like some of my friends. I got friends right now that can go out and have a couple of shots and do a line of coke and just go have a great night. And it'll turn into a 10-day bender for me at best. You know what I mean? I have that same kind of problem with food, with sugar. You know, like me and my wife tell this story together now a lot. When I first married her, I'll never forget this. She ordered a candy bar one night from the store. And this woman ate half of the candy bar and set the other half on the kitchen counter. And we had just started dating. So I obviously wasn't going to eat the candy bar. But I thought about it every time I walked by the candy bar. And by like the second day, I was like, hey, do you want me to throw this candy bar away? You know what I mean? What I was really getting at was, can I eat the rest of the candy bar? But I realized I don't have that kind of wiring. You know what I mean? Like I eat every candy bar in this house if they're here. If you had a 20-pack of candy bars here and I found them, I would eat them all. At one point. Now I've done a lot more work. Now I can walk into a room full of candy and be like, whatever. You know what I mean? But initially I had to like really figure it out.
What was the moment where you realized that you needed to make a change?
I don't know what exactly it was. I think I started feeling like death. And I mean that in the most like literal way you could say, Chris.
Like you felt like you were going to die?
Yeah, man. Like I would lay in, I was 500 something. I had to sleep in a certain position because if I rolled one way, I'd choke on my spit. You know what I mean? Like It was like really getting bad. Like it was affecting every part of my life, not just some parts. Like being big affects most parts, but I mean, there was not one part of my life that wasn't affected by it. Yeah, it was just horrible. And I was just so sick of it. And I knew it was a food problem. And I knew that my schedule was so stressful, traveling 300 days a year. I had to really make some crazy changes. So I went and did like 30 days of pretty intensive therapy about it, just to really figure out the root of it. Completely changed my eating habits, hired a full-time nutritionist. Then he ended up moving out here and cooking too. So now he not only does the planning, he'll whip it for me too. So now it's just gotten real easy.
Oh.
And I quit making a thing of food. Like I don't do dinner meetings. I don't do lunch meetings. I don't live in that space no more.
There's so many things. And I don't think people think in this way. So many things that we do in our life are around food. Let's go have lunch together. Let's go have dinner together. Let's have this family meal together.
And it's just not, and it's also just not what I want in my family anyways. You know, me and my wife have been talking about having a baby, and it's like, I don't want to raise a kid that 80% of our memories are around kitchen tables. I think kitchen tables are a great place to make a memory, but I think so are the mountains, and so is the lake. You know what I mean? And so is just walking around the neighborhood and walking through the farm and going and playing with the donkeys. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the stuff.
Yeah. So how do you feel now?
I feel great, man. I mean, I'm hurt. Like, my hip hurts, my knees hurt. Like, I'm in pain.
From what?
I think it's just from running really hard and just from carrying the weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For so many years. And then, like, as I'm getting in more shape, I'm really starting to push myself. As I'm starting to get in shape, I'm really starting to push myself too. So it's like, I'm just kind of beating myself up.
But you feel all right?
I feel great, man. Mentally, I feel better than I've ever felt. Physically, we were talking about this cardiovascular wise, breathing, respiratory wise. Oh, dude, I don't even feel like the same guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at a flight of steps with absolute fear. I used to look at steps like they were like absolute demons. Like it was a devil incarnate, like anything but the step. No. And then I'd have to ask questions like, how many flights? And then is there a place we can regroup before we walk into people? Because the worst thing was having to walk up 3 flights of steps right into a room, you know, and I'm sounding like a French bulldog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For the first 20 minutes I'm in there.
Yeah.
It was horrible. You know what I mean? I think about it, dude. My wife, God, think about how absolute miserable our sex life was because of me the last half decade. Just, you know what I'm saying? What she had to deal with.
If you lose enough weight, you're going to have to change your name.
No, dude.
You're not a jelly roll anymore.
No, I'll just get rid of the roll, baby. I always have a little jelly in me. You know what I'm talking about? I always have a little jelly in me, Chris.
What did it mean for you when you finally got to meet The Rock after chatting for, you know, the better part of a decade?
Dude, it was like, I almost cried when I hugged him, just from all he's done for me. You know what I mean? As a friend, and just like, I don't know if I've ever expressed this way, but dude, when he first discovered my music and sent me a message, he was the biggest box office star in the world at the time. And I was a underground rapper from Antioch, Tennessee with 100,000 YouTube subscribers. You know what I mean? And this dude just immediately started pouring into me, like sending voice notes, like not even just like messages on Instagram, like voice notes, like, so you know it's him, you know? It's like, hey, brother, man, just want you to know, man, I spent some time in Nashville, gave me his Nashville history, and he was like, I understand you. The world will understand you. Be patient with them. They might not get it now, but they'll get it. You're speaking for a group of people that's unspoken for. This dude's saying stuff to me like this a decade ago. You know what I mean? Like, the concept that I would go on to have the success I've had is like so far-fetched in my mind at that time. But like, he just seen something in me that he thought he just needed to pour love into.
Wow.
And then from then, I always say this openly, every big moment I had in my career for the longest time, one of the first 2 messages I would get would either be The Rock or Joe Rogan. Wow. And these are 2 of the biggest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to show you similar spirits of like, just, like when I made my Grand Ole Opry debut, I think I'd posted Grand Ole Opry invite video. And then like 8 minutes later, I had a DM from Dwayne. DJ was like, yo, the Grand Ole Opry, that's my dream. You're living my dream. Like, he's joking with me. You know, I'm like, dude, you're the biggest star in the world. You know what I mean? You've lived every one of my dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but he's gassing me up that I'm living his dream by singing it. Just like, what a sweet soul. So to meet him was like, put all that together, man, was just really, really sick.
What did The Rock say after your SummerSlam match?
Dude, killer. Like, just all praises. Just, dude, you did it. Because I talked to him about it then. I was like, man, I think I want to get involved in a match. He's like, you're getting healthy enough. I was like, yeah, man. He's like, go shoot for it, brother. And he's just like, DJ's energy is, how can I help? Like, he's got that energy in life. Like, anytime you get around him, it automatically is process, and then he's, how can I help? So he immediately, I'm like, I'm going to get in a match. And he stops, we're walking. And he stops and looks at me and go, how can I help? You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I got it. I'm talking to Triple H. It's like, we're good. He's like, just let me know. You know what I mean? But like that instant, like, that's his spirit in life, though.
You know, Topps made a trading card of have you seen this?
Pretty cool. I'm on the top rope.
Yeah, we got this here.
I haven't seen one in person.
Oh, you haven't seen one in person?
No, this is it.
Here you go. So check this out.
Dude.
Look at this. Topps now.
No way. This is so cool. I'm even skinnier now. Dude, this is so good.
Isn't that so cool?
Oh, it's got the choke slam. No way. Dude, this is so sick, Bubba. I'd seen it online, but I haven't actually got to see it yet.
There's one in there for you.
Oh, thank you, brother. No,
you can keep one of those.
I love this, man. I hate that Logan whooped me and pinned me, but every picture is either him going through Kimmel's desk or this shot.
Yeah.
It's all right. There's an iconic picture of him and Drew standing over me while I'm just laying there, just looking like a dead carcass.
No one remembers that.
Yo, I tell you a funny part of the story I didn't get. One thing I do want to correct, though, on the record is when I got that power slam off the rope for Logan, and I paused for a minute before I went for the pin, that wasn't a pause because I knew Drew was coming to kick out. That was the first time in the match I'd hurt myself. I had the opposite of what happened to Logan when he jumped on me happen. Something about when I landed that power slam took all my breath. So I was like, oh, and I just had to have a moment of like, what are we doing next? Because I genuinely like it. I don't know. I think maybe we bounced at the same time just hard enough that he bounced back into me. I don't think I had him tight enough to my tummy. I think I had him out. So when he came, he bounced back up into me, which was a me thing, obviously, amateur mistake. But yeah, man, that was a...
Did you hear what Michael Cole called that move? The jelly to belly.
No way, the jelly to... I love Michael Cole, dude.
And did you hear what he called the black hole slam? The black roll slam.
No!
I think he just came up with that in the spot,
dude,
too.
Michael Cole is the dude. Bro.
Isn't he the best?
He's the dude,
He's
man.
the best.
Nah, he's the dude.
Yeah, you can have one of those.
Dude, thank you.
Of course.
I can't get over how cool this is.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah. What was even cooler was that Randy let me hit with him that night. Right before we went out, I was like, can I? He was like, of course, bro. I was like, yes.
Yeah, so you guys are both on the top rope.
Yeah.
You're waiting for it.
I'm just looking at him like a big kid.
Randy, just as cool as ever, just throws it up.
And then looks over at me like it's all good. He does it all cool. And I'm like, it's like the polar opposite.
Are you and Randy now like bonded for life because of this?
I think so, man. I hope Randy feels the same way I feel about him. I feel like we're gonna be brothers forever.
Yeah.
I like literally, like I said, I hit him up as much as I can. Like he was an angel through all that. He was the most patient, gave me the best advice. Like all three of them dudes were angels in that. Everybody in that WWE sphere, like I can do nothing but like praise them and thank them for how I got treated. I mean, all the way, dude. I mean, Stu, Road Dogg.
Stu the cameraman?
Dude, everybody treated me like family. You know what I mean? Like every corner. When I went to Clash in Paris, it felt like a family reunion. Like I went into the men's locker room like I was wrestling that night. And like everybody was just glad to see me. It was like, it touched my soul, bro.
You have this real energy about you though, where you speak to people like you've known them your whole life.
Oh,
and
thank you.
I'm so grateful that you do that with me. You do that with everybody. Where does that come from for you?
I think it's just trying to be honest all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just who I am.
It's just nothing but love.
Yeah, it's who I was in my neighborhood. It's like this tracks back to who I was as a kid, I think. I've just always been loving and just like, I'm blessed to be the baby. So I might have grew up a little too loved almost. You know what I mean? I had a bunch of big brothers that they picked on me, but they loved me. You know what I mean? They made sure I walked early. They made sure I talked early. You know what I mean? Like I had those kind of brothers and older sister that were like determined to love on me. So I just tried to do that.
Are you able to be present enough with where you're at in your career now to look back and go, this has been pretty cool? Not just the wrestling stuff, the music stuff as well.
Oh, dude. In every way, Chris, I can tell you everything I was thinking about during that match, but not limited to, I feel that about every show. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm big about not having a phone. I don't carry a phone. My presence in moments is, I think, my superpower. Like, I know, dude, that's another reason I did it. Let's be honest. Dude, that is a once in a generational story.
Oh, yeah.
That's a once in a like, maybe ever. They may never have another guy that went through as much of a dramatic transformation as I did to get in that ring.
But it's not just the wrestling, it's all of it.
It's all of it. No, dude. I mean,
most musicians don't get to play in stadiums.
For sure.
How many did you play with Post Malone on this
27.
tour? 27.
Doing them again next year with him, hopefully. It's I mean, I was thinking about just this year alone. You know what I mean? Of like,
dude, you did a song with Bon Jovi.
I did a song with Bon Jovi, dog. Eminem. I was on Eminem's last album. I was on Lil Wayne's last album. I was on Bon Jovi's last album. I was on the biggest Christian song of the year. You know what I mean? I just won 3 Dove Awards. You know, like, this isn't bragging. This is just me showing you the presence of like,
please, yeah,
the little moments. Like when I'm at the Saddle Dome in Calgary and they come to my dressing room and go, "You're not going to believe this. Bret the Hitman Hart's in there." And I go, "Right now?" They go, "Right now." And I go spend 2 hours with Bret Hart, who is just the sweetest dude. You know what I mean? And we're recapping real wrestling stuff. Like, I'm so present in all of the moments of like, Post Malone's Last Night in London. Like whenever I got to pour that love into him, you know, I got to do something similar every night on tour, but like that's the presence of like, I don't want to look back. Like I have so many friends that had these moments and look back and go, I wish I was paying attention. And I know that I'm like flat in it. I hate to keep going back to the match, but there was a moment in my match talking about you flat in it where, right after I hit Drew with the Boss Man Slam, Logan was already posted in the corner. And how the wrestling comeback formula works is I've already got the crowd rolling. I've already came in. I've already hit Logan. I've already hit Drew. I turn around. I got Logan coming off the top. I'm supposed to go straight over to Logan and keep the flow going, right? That's the pacing of how wrestling works. I stopped. Looked up. And I let that 60,000 person swell. And I'll never forget, it's the only time I think Shane gave me credit for something for real, because Shane was like, "Hey man, don't do that." I was like, "I'm going to do it, Shane." He's like, "You might lose them." He's like, "If they're already rolling from the comeback." You know what I mean? He's like, "Trust me, I do this." I was like, "But trust me, man, I need that moment for me. I need to just take one moment in that ring where it's not about selling a character and just feel it." And that was that moment, dude. And that place fucking roared. So by the time I got back to Logan, I was so gassed up because I was like, "Oh, good, it didn't backfire." Because I wasn't sure. I was okay if I lost them too, because I knew that I needed that moment. Like, because you're so making sure you're doing the character, the match. You're making sure you're telling the story so much that I was like, I need one moment where I can actually just look up and go, "All right, cool, we're here." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was that moment for me, dude.
Are you that present in every show that you do?
Oh yeah.
Like you take a moment from every show?
Every show. I remember every face, every sign. I'm like super, super into that. It's like, I think it's why I love performance so much. I connect that deeply with it.
Did you always think you'd be here doing what you're doing right now?
Never.
Wow.
Never thought I'd be this big. I didn't think I was going to get out of clubs. I thought like Tech Nine was one of my favorite underground rappers ever. And if I could have, I actually did a distribution deal with this company for a while. Tech Nine and me have a couple of big songs together. And I used to tell this guy, Travis O'Gwen, one of my early mentors in the independent rap scene, I used to go, "Man, if I could just have like a third of the career Tech's having, a fourth of the career Tech's having, like, you know, that'll be crazy." My first Red Rock show was with Tech. And even then, I remember leaving Red Rocks and thinking, I don't think I'll ever headline this place. Man, maybe next time I can be 2 or 3, because I was 1 of 3. It was me, Ritz, then Tech. And I was like, maybe next time I can be like, it'll be somebody, me, then Tech. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, I never dreamed it would get this big.
What was the song that changed your career?
Save Me. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. There was a lot of things leaning that way. Creature with Tech Nine went platinum and had a really big response. Bottle and Mary Jane. Like, I had a bunch of songs that started really gaining steam, but something about Save Me just resonated in a way that I could have never predicted.
And then what's been the song in the last, call it 3-4 years, that have just put it over the top?
Man, this is where God's been so good to me, Chris, is that I think every song I put out this year, they've all been features. I haven't put out a Jelly Roll song yet, but every one of them are on pace to be bigger than every song I've ever had.
Wild.
Bloodline with Alex Warren,
where
we talk about breaking generational curses, is at almost 200 million on Spotify. I mean, it's already getting up there. Like, Save Me's at 400, I think. So, I mean, it's halfway there, and Save Me's been out 4 years longer. Hard Fought Hallelujah. Like, dude, these songs, this Amen song with Shabuzi could end up being big. I'm not counting it out. You know what I mean? It's crazy, dude. It's like, it's the coolest thing right now. I'm in the career spot where I know a lot of people came to my show to hear me sing Save Me, but they're excited to see me sing something they heard 3 months ago.
We'll get back to the conversation in just a second. This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the upgrade button for your life in the bedroom. Chewable tablets that deliver stronger, harder, longer-lasting erections without the hoops. No waiting rooms, no pharmacy lines, just a quick online visit, and once approved by a licensed medical provider, Blue Chew sends the chews straight to your door. Guys, if you've been thinking about it, now is the time to try Blue Chew with your first month free. Just sign up at bluechew.com. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Discover your options at bluechew.com, and we've got a special deal for you because you're watching right now. Try your first month of Blue Chew for free when you use the promo code CVV. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's promo code CVV. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And a big thank you to Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode.
We went to a gas station on our way here. Liar was playing in the gas station.
Yes. Let's go. It's so
Then we
Nashville.
drove by a billboard with your face on it for the Opry.
Yes. Dope.
So, like, what world are we living in here? It's amazing, right?
Dude, when I'm associated with the Opry, like I'm a face of the Opry, it doesn't get no cooler.
Like, the craziest thing that I'm taking from this is you're saying you couldn't even have dreamed this big.
Yeah.
And you're living it.
Living it, dude. I dream bigger. Like, dream bigger.
Those are two powerful words.
Yeah, dream bigger. Like, even like whatever you think your dream for this channel is, God might be looking at like, man, I wish he'd open his eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes some of us think we're dreaming too big and we're actually dreaming so small, God can't actually open it up for us yet. He's like, I can't believe for you. You know what I mean? Now I'm starting to dream crazy. What we talked about off camera, on camera that you're not going to put out, that's how I'm starting to dream. Like when I started looking at things different, when this thing started happening for me, then I started realizing the power of projection. Not manifestation or vision as much as just like projecting and being willing to work towards that projection.
Yeah.
Of like, I want to lose enough weight that I can get in this ring next SummerSlam and not take two grown men to help me get up. That was my bare minimum. You know what I mean? Now you know what my next one is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's these like measurable goals. You know what I mean? They call them SMART goals.
Yes.
You familiar with this concept?
SMART. Each one stands for something.
Yeah, like strategic, measurable, actionable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like these, like y'all look this up. It's a great system, but like setting SMART goals now, like realistic within what's in front of me. I'll give you a big one you can put out.
Okay.
This is an exclusive. I ran my first 5K 2 years where I walked it. I kind of light jogged one this year. I should put up my PR by Thanksgiving if my knee feels better, which will be my first time I run a 5K pillar to post, which will get me ready for a 10K. A lot of my friends are ultra marathon runners like Cam Haynes. I hit Cam Haynes and Ian Larios, my chef, up last night. Literally, I texted them this last night and I said, 2 years from today, I want to run my first 50K with y'all.
50K.
It's my goal. So I got to do a marathon first. There's obviously a lot of steps that have to come, but I want to do an ultra marathon through the mountains, 50K.
Oh my gosh.
With Cam Haynes. That's one of my dreams right now. But equally, when I was 540 pounds, Cam used to tell me, this is back when I didn't believe in me. This is why I've changed. Cam Haynes used to go, I'm going to get you up here on Pisgah one day. It's 1,000 feet elevation, straight up a mountain in Oregon. Cam Haynes runs it 10 times a day. He's a lunatic. And he was like, I'm going to get you on Pisgah with me. And I was like, whatever, Cam. And I walked Pisgah with him last year. Now I walked it. It took me an hour. You know what I mean? But like, I'm going to run it with him next time.
Oh, man.
So like now when I text Cam and I'm like, we're running a 50K, Cam's like, now we're cooking, big guy. You know, I love Cam though. He's like, you could probably do it next fall. I'm like, that's ambitious. I was like, we're going to aim for 27 here, Cam. You know?
What's the moment that made you want to change everything? From going to jail 40 times and the life that you were living, was there a moment that made you want to change?
Adulting, parenting. Beautiful little girl, man. Just
becoming a father?
Yeah, she was born when I was in jail. And getting that kind of news in there just reminded me, it really put a spotlight on how horrible of a human I was to myself. It was the first time I seen myself the way the world seen me. You know what I mean? And that changed everything for me. I was like, man, I really am a really scummy human, you know? And I don't deserve to be responsible for a whole nother human. And You know, that was the first thing that changed my life. That was almost 18 years ago. I was in jail because that little girl had turned 18 in 6 months and graduated.
Wow.
On her way to college.
So that was the first thing. What came after that?
I look at life like linear footage of God winks. And it's whether or not you pay attention to him, but he's always winking at us and sending something our way. Music, when I came home, I immediately had a friend who had a camera and worked at Best Buy and was like, his name's Chad Arms. I shout him out every interview I do about it. We don't talk much because I'm busy, but he knows I love him. You know what I mean? But he showed up with a camera, was like, yo, rapping this thing. I'm putting on this thing called YouTube. You know, that was step one of like right then, little God wink started changing my life. That would be the beginning of me building. I'm back vlogging on YouTube again. I'm back really pouring my heart into YouTube again because I miss it. I miss like where I started at.
Yeah.
And that was the first one. And then, you know, music, writing songs, falling in love. And then Bunny, meeting the right woman. Like it was the first time I met a woman I wanted to like do right by. And so marriage, falling in love has changed everything. The real answer, Chris, love. Every time it's ever been love. It was love of a little girl. It was love of my wife. Losing the weight started becoming love for myself. I'm starting to love myself for the first time. But every other time something changed in my life, it was all triggered by love.
Isn't it amazing that you can pour your heart into these lyrics? Pour your heart into writing one of these songs. It's so personal to you. And then when you release it or you're playing it live, that thing that's so personal to you in your life can apply to somebody else's life.
Feels even more personal to them. You know what the crazy part is? When I first started doing it, I thought I was writing because nobody was seeing what I was seeing or feeling what I was feeling, and I needed to express it. Like that kind of almost like nobody knows this pain feeling, you know? And then the real beauty of it became, no, man, I felt like everybody feels. Like everybody's had a rough day. Everybody's lost somebody they loved. Everybody's felt hopeless. I didn't realize that. I thought at the time, early in my career, I thought I was the only person that felt that way. And that's why I was writing, you know, it's my way of getting it out of me. Then you start to see how many people it touches. That's when it gets cool. You're like, oh man, this ain't my story no more. I'm telling our story. Now it's deeper. I don't even write my story no more. Now I'm writing our story. I'm writing the story of the people I know, the people I love, what the feeling is, what I feel like somebody needs to talk about in pop culture. Because sometimes I'll write songs just because you're like, man, Winning Streak, when I wrote that song about sobriety, it wasn't to be niche or whatever they say. It was to be more like, hey man, I don't think people have ever talked about this or seen it from this light. I hope I can reframe it in a way that'll make somebody feel okay going to get help, you know? So it's always trying to write with purpose. I grew up in a neighborhood I thought was so unique, I felt the need to be the journalist of it. I was like, there's no way this kind of white trashery exists anywhere else but here. So, and I thought one day I was going to be famous because I was from such a unique area. And then I realized that it ended up working out for me because everybody's from Antioch to some degree. Everybody's got a dude, you know, like I, to this really weird way, represent somebody everybody's known at some point in their life if you grew up any kind of middle or lower class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just what I thought was my, I thought it was my superpower because it was so special to me, but it was my superpower because I was just able to vocalize what was happening to us all.
What's amazing though is even though you've been through all of this stuff, you still have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
You are one of the most charismatic people I've ever met. And I've met a lot of charismatic people.
Thank you, Bob.
But it's just nothing but like you're just excited about life.
Yeah, man.
I am too, but I love seeing it in somebody else.
It's cool to be excited about, man. It's like, I love my kids. I love my wife. I love your show. I love that I'm doing this. I love that we're getting to sit here and just talk about wrestling and like life and like that you do this for a gig.
Yeah, I can't believe.
How fire is that?
I can't believe it.
You know what I mean? It's like you just get to travel and go hang out with pro UFC fighters and recording artists all in the same day and fly home and you'll tuck your kids in bed.
That's the best.
You know what I mean? Like you'll literally be home in time tonight to like see your babies go to sleep.
It's amazing. Yeah, I can't believe it.
It's cool. What's not to be excited about?
Oh no.
And anybody who's not excited, I encourage you to start finding it.
Yeah,
like, it's out there for you somewhere.
And that's why gratitude's such a huge thing for me. That's why I end every interview with like the gratitude question, because like there is good in every day. And you may not see it sometimes, but when you can see someone who is successful going, man, I'm just grateful for my health. I'm hoping that someone watching this or listening to this can go, you know what? It's been a rough day. Things aren't going my way, but I do have my health.
For sure.
I can be grateful for that. I can be grateful for my family. I love that.
Even with the weight loss stuff for me, it was another reason I did it walking at first was we have a treadmill. My wife has a gym. You came through. We almost filmed this out there. I didn't use it at first because I was like, I don't want to pin myself to having a crutch of like, I need a gym. I need a treadmill. Like a mental component for me was, I'm going to tie my shoes. I'm going to go outside and walk.
You can go for a walk anywhere.
I can go for a walk anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. And then the first day it rained, my wife's got the video footage of it. It was the first day I had to make a big decision in my life. And I said, walking in the rain. And that's what I did forever. I just now felt comfortable enough in my journey to go to the treadmill because now I'm like, I don't need to prove nothing to myself and go out here in 100-degree heat. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just get on my treadmill. But initially it was like just that gratitude of like, man, I want to go outside and feel the air. Like, be grateful that I can walk outside in the open air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I live in such a beautiful part of the countryside that I get to walk down the street and just look over and see rolling hills and like neighbors all wave at me. And then it became fun because my neighbors started, I run through this neighborhood next to my house, and this neighborhood would start cheering for me. They'd never stop me. They just come outside, go, yeah, we see you. You know what I mean? I look back now like, dude, they've watched me run off 200 and something pounds.
Wow.
You know, but do you ever do like inventories at night?
What do you mean?
So have you ever been to AA?
No.
It's a really cool concept in AA. They do gratitudes and they do inventories.
Okay.
So you start every morning with gratitudes, right? It's like early morning anchoring. Like you just immediately get into your gratitude bag. Start with grateful. But you end your day with an inventory. Grateful to end it with a gratitude, but you end it with sitting down and going, all right, every interaction I had today, where did I win and where did I fail? And you spend 20 or 30 minutes actually like really, this is what changed my personality a lot as far as like how I interact with people. Because when you start really, at first it's mountains of stuff, obviously, and then it starts getting cool. You start getting better because you start thinking about it during the day. Like, do I want to think about how I dealt with this later? I'd rather deal with it right now. You know what I mean? And you look back and be like, you know what, man, my kid came downstairs and she poked her head in and said hi, and I was on the phone. I should have just hung up that call and chased her out the door and spent 5 minutes with her. It could be something that small.
Yeah.
But like I make it a point now to go into my inventory and go, what could I have done to be just a little bit better today?
And it's not just family members. This is like the cashier at the grocery store.
Like if I could have been, maybe I didn't look them in the eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just grabbed my receipt and ran. That's just not my character style. And like I can make peace with it immediately. You know what I mean? I inventory it that night, do better.
I love that. I'm going to start doing that. I want to give you a fun one here. If you were to make a Survivor Series team of other country musicians.
Oh, this is fun.
Who are the other 4 in your team?
Oh, I get 4, right?
So it's you plus 4.
Yeah, it's me plus 4. Okay, I'm going to take, we're going to start with the 2 obvious, which is Morgan and Kane.
Okay.
Kane Brown is in stupid shape. Like ridiculous shape, and Morgan Wallen is scrappy, like as a human. You know what I'm saying? And these are both my friends, so I'm taking them for sure. I guess now we got to start getting real strategic.
Yeah, you got 2 left.
Yeah, I got 2 left, and I definitely, we need a big man because you got to assume the MFTs are going to be there, right? You know what I'm saying?
You're not the big man anymore.
Yeah, I'm not the big man, so we need like a big man. I don't know if I'm going, I might go, oh, this is so good. Because I'm thinking of 2 people right now. I'm thinking Parker McCollum and Riley Green are 2 just full-blown athletes. You know what I mean? But I can't take them both because I need to save that last spot for another scrappy guy. So I think I'm going to go Riley. Parker, I love you. I'm going to go Riley on this one. Just because, Riley's, I don't know, he's from Alabama. Parker's from Texas. It's so tough. Because my last, you know what? I'm going to go Riley because the Texas boy I'm going to take is Cody Johnson. Cody Johnson's not, he'll be our shorter guy, but that dude rides bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody in the WWE, none of the MFTs want any of that smoke with Cody Johnson. So yeah, final answer, Cody Johnson, Riley Green. Morgan Wall and Kane Brown. Jelly
What a
Roll.
team.
That's my squad.
What a team.
That's my squad. Honorable mention, Post Malone. If anybody's injured, Post is coming in because Post really, really, really wants to settle his dispute with Seth.
Oh, you think Post Malone's going to get in the ring?
I don't know if he'll get in the ring, but I can tell you this. He took that personal. For sure. Post don't take much personal. But Post has texted me 10 times, but like, yo, fuck that Seth Rollins guy. Post is the nicest dude ever, by the way. Post is the nicest, never say nothing bad about anybody guy ever.
Post Malone, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
This could be a match.
Dude, listen, man. Post kind of wants it, dude. When Seth was talking shit to him that night, Post was like, dude, you're being mean to me? Fuck you, man.
Me, of all people?
Post was like, Post is truly, people were like, Jelly Roll, you're the nicest guy ever. I was like, you haven't met Post Malone. I was like, I'm kind of an asshole sometimes. Post Malone, always a nice guy.
I appreciate you, man.
Dude, can we talk about Seth Rollins for 2 seconds?
Let's do it.
What do you make of this?
Ooh. I think he's actually injured this time. But this is what I love, Jelly. This is what I love about this era of wrestling. Everyone says, kayfabe's dead. No, kayfabe has evolved. And we saw that at SummerSlam with the crutches being tossed off to the side by Seth Rollins.
I was backstage losing my mind.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I think that, look, Seth leaves it all in the ring every single time he's in there. And I think that this feels like a legit injury. Yeah. And if he's not, and if he's working us, amazing.
Yeah.
But if this is a real injury, I hope that he takes the time to heal up.
What about with the B&B security?
Braun and Braun?
Yeah.
Why'd he turn on him? Or why'd they turn on him?
Well, let's talk about this for 2 seconds.
Okay.
And obviously, behind camera, I'm a Paul Heyman. But this opened up so much, right?
So if Seth Rollins is actually injured, the World Heavyweight Championship will be vacated. I think this fast tracks Braun Breaker to either be the world champion or be a number one contender and like get it within the next maybe 12 months or so. But look, we all know Braun Breaker.
Do you think Brock was a one and done?
No. He's
what did
back.
Brock is a Heyman guy.
And they did
Do you
plant
want to
that
talk
seed.
about they planted this seed.
They planted that seed with Paul Heyman introducing Brock for the John Cena match.
The Brawns were there.
The Brawns were there.
Remember when he seen him backstage and he said, we should talk?
Yeah.
The two Brawns were standing there.
No, Brock Lesnar is not one and done.
Could you imagine the faction that would be if Brock Lesnar came back and teamed with Braun and Braun?
Or maybe they're fighting over Paul Heyman in some sort of way, and we get Brock Lesnar versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania.
No.
That feels possible.
We're cooking. But I love it because anytime Paul Heyman has options, wrestling's at its best.
Oh, for sure.
Because like anytime you don't know where Paul could go, because at any moment Paul could turn on them and ride with Seth.
Yep.
He'll always have the back thing going with CM Punk in the deep dark corner.
Yep.
Him and Roman and him and Brock are there. So as soon as you put them away, you've just now added a whole nother group of people that now I'm solely watching what Paul Heyman does because he'll tip us off the next. Because I'm still remembering the night that Paul Heyman was talking to was it Jay or Roman? And he was like, when he started the Oracle thing, he said, I know these things. Your family ain't your family. I know these things. I see these things. You remember that?
Yes.
Like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Like, he's planting, like, that's another thing I love when people are like, long storytelling's dead. I'm like, y'all aren't watching it.
No.
You don't care about the Easter eggs no more. Like, he said this was 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know what it's going to turn into, but I remember watching then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But I love that we can be this excited about wrestling because there were some long stretches, Jelly.
I know, dude.
And you're familiar with them where it was rough.
Oh.
And it is so good again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, Chris. I'm sorry. I just want to touch on that because I'm watching all the angles and I'm like, and I love it because I'm in the company, but not in the company. You know what I mean? And I have no clue. Like, I have no clue.
You're a future WWE Hall of Famer now.
Dude, yeah, God.
I'm serious.
I tell you what I know
Celebrity
for sure.
Wing, although there hasn't been an inductee in the Celebrity Wing in a while.
No, I should be it. But
yeah.
I want to run it back. I want to do one more. I know why Bad Bunny had to do Backlash now because I know he walked out of that ring that night knowing how much more he could give.
You want a singles match this time?
I don't know. I don't really know what I want. I just know that I need to, and I promise y'all I'm not going to keep darkening y'all's door. But one, a dream scenario is I'd like to get involved for like a run. I'd like to wrestle every Friday. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to get involved.
Okay.
For like a 6 to 9 month run. But I definitely got to do one more though, man, just because it's like anything else in life. You did it once and you think you were prepared, but you wasn't.
Yeah.
And you leave there, all I could think about is everything I know I could have done a little better. You know what I mean? And like, I just started getting really comfortable bumping the week we went out there. Like, I'm so much more comfortable taking full-blown clotheslines and stuff now. Like, I got so much more I can do. And I got to make Santi oiled up. If it's on me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the last of getting Santi oiled up, dude, I got to do my part.
Well, brother, thank you. What a great conversation. How grateful am I to be able to chat wrestling with you?
Thank you, bro.
That was fun. So I'm going to ask you the question that I ask everybody at the end. Gratitude. What are 3 things that you're grateful for right now, Jelly?
Right now, I'm grateful for my family and marriage. My marriage is strengthening every day, and it's all God. I'm thankful for my faith. I'm growing in it every day, slowly but surely. I'm still a cussing Christian, but I still get closer to God every day, man. And I'm really thankful for that. And I'm thankful that I'm growing in grace with him and that I don't feel like I have to be over preachy about it. Like, I think I can just kind of let what God's doing shine through me. And I'm really grateful for that I don't feel this like need to appease a certain group of people with my actions. That like, I know what me and God got going.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that. And I am, this is probably the best one. I am grateful that my music has helped people all the way in Australia to the point I'm getting to go there and sing. Like, I am so, like, I never would have thought. Like, I'm getting messages from Australians that are like, yo, everything from losing friends to overdoses to, you know, the stuff we struggle with here. They're like, you have no clue how much this music means to us here. And to go somewhere that's 16 hours from here and sell out, you know, Rob LeVar Arena, where they, you know, like, I'll do 2 nights. Where was Crown Jewel at?
Perth.
Yeah. I'll do 2 nights at that arena in Perth.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, it's, I'll do 2 nights at every arena in Australia and like 5 festivals. It's like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just grateful that the music, I didn't think my music was going to make it out of South Nashville. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I thought maybe it'd make it to East Nashville at best.
Yeah.
And the fact that it somehow has made it all the way to the other side of the world, man, I'm grateful for that.
That's amazing.
I'm grateful for you. Grateful for you making the trip, dude.
Grateful for the invitation.
Glad.
And that, your music making it to the other side of the planet is just a tribute to who you are at your core.
Thank you, brother.
So thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
Love you, brother.
Love you, man. We'll talk again after the next one.
Can't wait.
We'll recap. Oh yeah, last hit. Paul Walter.
Paul Walter Hauser?
Yep. Love you, brother. Love to see you sometime. Come see me. You know where I'm at, though. That's the only problem. You got to come to where I am, baby. Come on. Love you, brother.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you, brother. Peace.